What's up, guys, and welcome back to Earth Zero. I'm your host, Black Nick, and thank you so much for tuning in, guys. So, I have a few thoughts on the whole Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League game that just released now. And honestly, this is not a review. I haven't played the game, not planning on playing it anytime soon. So I'm not gonna give you like, oh yeah, it's a 7 out of 10, it's a 9 out of 10 game. I genuinely think that if I have this game, I'm gonna literally enjoy it. Like I'm gonna have fun. Like I have a good feeling that I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna enjoy this game. I just don't believe that it's worth the price that it is now. I can't. I made that mistake with Marvel's Avengers, and this is doing pretty damn worse than Marvel's Avengers, unfortunately. And that was the same reason why I also didn't get this game, dude. With all the negativity behind it, with the whole live service thing behind it, and knowing people, I learned my lesson from Marvel's Avengers. Because I haven't had a console for like my whole life. I had like the PS2. I went to friends' houses and played games that I couldn't, at a certain age. I didn't come from like, a really wealthy background, until I started working, and then I finally got myself, PlayStation 5, all of that. So I'm new to the gaming stuff. So I saw Marvel's Avengers, and just out of me being a fan of Marvel's, I went into the game, open to anything, trying a live service game like that specifically for the first time, and everyone was already like no cash grab, and I wasn't listening to people. I was like, I'm gonna go there, and I had my fair share of fun, but it was still a disappointment. The day they took the game off and delisted it and people couldn't purchase it, I was like, yo, this journey was actually terrible. So with that at the back of my mind, and this game doing the exact same thing, and knowing, because at least with Square Enix and that company, no one really knew if they were capable of doing that or not. But with Rocksteady, they have a foundation. I've seen the quality games they make from the Arkham games, and I just saw this game and I was like, you guys are going down a shady road. This doesn't look like the same tone as the Arkham universe. The story is just jumping from like, a solo bat. Like it would have been cooler if they made like a Batman game, then a Superman game, and then a Green Lantern, and all these games, mash them up into one Justice League awesome game, and maybe introduce the live service part to it there, but at least you like built it up towards having, like, oh yeah, let's all do this. But from Arkham Knight, a single player good game, to this kind of, you don't have to, but microtransaction kind of live service game where they give you such a short story, just in order to make a bit of income to give you what's to come to support the game, dude. That's total laziness to me. If this game had its own, like the live service part, the multiplayer part, where you could still play with friends and everything, and they still had a fully fleshed out 20-hour, 30-hour story mode, I think I would have been seeing it in a different light. But I'm not paying $70 nor $100 for a game that has a 10-hour campaign, and half of the gameplay is just repetitive. That's not. Like I said, I'm from South Africa. I don't come from a wealthy background. I see things very, very, like in depth when it comes to using money, very stingy about my money. So that's my personal opinion, but this hasn't, like, I don't want to throw shade or anything, but as you can see from what everyone is saying and all the negative reports and stuff, I literally think I made a good decision not getting this game, dude. Honestly, like, yeah, you can have fun and everything, but without a proper fan base, without having stuff to do in the end game content and waiting months for the next content, and with it doing this terribly, and it already had a sale on Steam, and that's not good signs, dude. And the game's gonna probably go on sale very quick, like a lot of these other games, and eventually they're just gonna, if it goes worse now, and people start losing more and more interest, and they're not making the money that they need, eventually this game's gonna shut down as well. And I don't know if it's gonna be like, because it's a live service game, it could probably just shut down completely and you can't play the game anymore. They have the power to do that. So like, what's the point of getting the game? But at the same time, with the numbers, they will have to try and make a profit with sales, and that's when I think most people are gonna buy it. Or if it comes to Game Pass for free, that's when people are gonna buy it. So already with the shaky start, and it's terrible than Marvel's Avengers, and I went through that whole journey with Marvel's Avengers, and this has a lower player base. I couldn't give my time of day to play this game because people are very important when it comes to live service games, dude. No matter if you enjoyed those 10 hours, or, you know, your game won't fully be fleshed out to what it's supposed to be. Some people that are enjoying the game and stuff, I feel like they're very comfortable in their lives and they're in a good position to actually buy this game. But some of us aren't, and we need our content, and we need things to do, and we need good gameplay. We need time, even, dude. And I don't have time to be doing the same thing over and over again, to not be satisfied at the end of 10 hours of story, at the end of one day, basically, of playing this game and not feeling satisfied, and having to repeat that stuff just to get the rest of the content months later that I've paid $70 for, when I could just come in between when there's enough content and the game's cheaper, you know? So it's just terrible, and you're just seeing sales are not doing well, and the game's struggling, and it's just like, I don't know how people that are defending this game so much from people that are hating on the game, I just don't understand how do they not see that people are just trying to not make companies go down these kind of routes, dude. And especially Rocksteady, because they made such a good trilogy with the Arkham games, and it's up there, dude, as like one of the best superhero games of all time. The Arkham games, whichever one you choose. And you go to this kind of game, and the graphics are average. The story apparently is average. You're doing the same stuff over again. It's I don't know. It's not good. And the fact that Warner Bros. Only gave like copies and stuff to people selectively because of the bad press, they knew that they made a mistake, dude. And that's why I don't even feel sorry for them. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad for the players that are getting like feeling overwhelmed by everyone's negative. I don't feel bad for any of them when you can clearly see that this company didn't do this game for the fans. They did it out of their own will to get some cash out of people, because you can't play a game like this forever and not spend at least a single cent on the game. Like you eventually are, and they know that the fans of the games will spend a cent, and they're like, yo, we need to have a store and all of these kind of things. And people don't want that. People are very happy with just a single player experience, dude, and getting everything in game, one and done payment, and I got what I wanted, and I got a good story that's well thought of, and I got good missions and interesting stuff to do. And with the amount of good games we got last year, starting off the year with a game that you took 7 years to make and you only released a 10-hour storyline, it's just terrible, dude. It's just terrible. And they're trying so hard to hide this with deleting Steam reviews and all of that. And people probably complain like, no, but those are because of review bombers. And I'm like, there are people, if you watch my video prior to this about Grace Randolph that hasn't even played the game and she's saying good things about the game and reviewing it, there are people also doing that for the good. So it's actually very unfair and very sketchy to do that. And it's not going to help your game because people are reporting on it. And then they're like, yeah, no, they're doing some very, very, very shady stuff. So at the end of the day, I hope this is a lesson to Rocksteady. I don't blame the developers. Some of the developers of the OG games even left. Apparently was on good terms, but everyone highly doubts that, dude. Like, we know they were just like, yeah, we don't want to be a part of your backlash, bro. We don't want this kind of backlash. You guys have lost the plot, and this is not what our fans want. And I'm sure some of the people disagreed fairly. Probably some people still working there disagreed fairly, but you can't really say anything to the high ups or anything. But whoever came with that decision to go from an Arkham Knight nice solo game to this microtransaction, wait for next DLC kind of game, dude, and not having a fully fleshed out game, live service kind of game, dude. Whoever did that needs to lose their job, dude. Honestly, dude, you ruined a whole company from just this idea, and yeah, you went from being, and the fact that you had all this press and everyone looking at your game was because you had a good name, you had a great name, and you decided to just tarnish it because of one silly guy or one silly management decision, dude. So unfortunately, that guy should just get fired, and he should go sit in the corner and think about what he's done. And I wish they could really tell us the names of these people, because people like that shouldn't be getting jobs in their positions anymore, dude. For ruining companies like this, dude. Like, other companies shouldn't hire them as well, dude. So, that's my opinion on the game. Is that it's just not worth getting it right now. I'll get it when it's worth it.